So yesterday, the college football semifinals actually began, and there were two games that a lot of people were kind of looking forward to. The first one was Alabama versus Notre Dame. Now, this game, I don't think many people were all that excited for, just because it's Notre Dame and it's Alabama. And we all know Alabama smokes Notre Dame every time they play, and Notre Dame honestly didn't really belong in the playoffs. But the second game was really the more marquee game. It was Clemson, Ohio State. And this was more of the game that was a closer matchup. And I think this one, amongst my circles, was much more anticipated because of the whole Justin Fields versus Trevor Lawrence thing. And that was the big story going away from it, was just how well Justin Fields played. Now, I don't know if that was mostly the narrative because I'm on NFL Twitter and more specifically Jaguar Twitter, and obviously the Jaguars had the number one overall pick in the 2021 draft. So the Jaguars will be able to select anybody they want, whether it be a Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. But that was really the main takeaway from this game. And really, Justin Fields absolutely killed it. When you look at Justin Fields' numbers and really just the final score of this game, Ohio State routed Clemson 49-28. And really, after halftime, this game really wasn't even in doubt. I mean, Ohio State got a lead, and Clemson never really came. I don't think they ever came within 14 points of really closing the gap in the second half. So 49-28 the final score. Justin Fields' numbers were awesome. Justin Fields was 22 for 28. That led to a 78% completion percentage, 385 passing yards, as well as 6 touchdowns to just 1 interception. And really, after Justin Fields took that big hit from the linebacker, he came back and he showed a lot of grit. He showed a lot of toughness, and he showed that, look, I am not only good against not necessarily bad opponents, but because the biggest knock on him was him against good ranked teams. He didn't really play very well, but this game really put the explanation mark on how he will be, hopefully, as an NFL quarterback, really going into this upcoming draft. Because, man, if he came out here and threw for 225 yards, 62% completion percentage, and threw a couple interceptions, he definitely probably would have fallen down behind Zach Wilson and potentially even behind Trey Lance or Mac Jones. But this game almost solidified him as the QB2 going into this upcoming draft. Now, when you compare this to Trevor Lawrence's numbers, Trevor Lawrence was 33 for 48, which was a 69% completion percentage, 400 total passing yards, as well as 2 touchdowns versus 1 interception. So Trevor Lawrence obviously was not as impressive as Justin Fields, and Justin Fields really took the show this whole game. So really, this brings up the debate right now. Justin Fields or Trevor Lawrence? Obviously, all Jaguar fans were set in stone with, hey man, Trevor Lawrence, we've got to get him. We had number one overall pick. Justin Fields sucked his last game against Northwestern. This is a slam dunk. But now Jaguars people are kind of sitting here like, is Trevor Lawrence really the guy? I mean, look at how well Justin Fields played. He outplayed Trevor Lawrence this game. This was, we should really be considering him as a QB1. Even guys like Maurice Jones-Drew were out there on Twitter lobbying for the Jaguars to potentially draft him. But me, personally, it doesn't matter really to me if Trevor Lawrence went out there and threw 6 interceptions. He's locked into that number one spot for me. I mean, when you look at I just feel like Trevor Lawrence's floor is much higher than a guy like Justin Fields, because we've kind of seen Justin Fields' floor. But the thing with Trevor Lawrence was he is just still an all-around better prospect to me. I mean, I'm not going to go into really his 3 years of stats. When you look at his numbers, he just improves every year. I guess the biggest disappointment about Trevor Lawrence is in his 3-year career at Clemson, he only won 1 national championship, and that was in 2018. When you look at 2019, he lost in a national championship to the arguably best college football team ever put on a football field, and that was LSU with Joe Burrow, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and different guys like that. And then you look over at this year where they got upset by Ohio State. And really, this game, I put this loss on Dabo Swinney. First of all, Ohio State seemed to have a lot more bulletin board material to play for. Obviously, The Ohio State lost to Clemson in the semifinals just a year prior. Dabo Swinney went out there and basically didn't rank Ohio State in the top 10. And those were just a couple things that they really had to play for. And a lot of people, also nationally, people weren't really giving them a chance. I did not think that they would go out there and win. I thought that Clemson would be able to go in here and easily take care of business, especially when you look at what happened recently with the Ohio State Northwestern, and it just wasn't very good. But this is on Dabo Swinney. All aspects of the game was better for Clemson or for Ohio State. You look at it, man. Obviously, the quarterback play, Justin Fields was incredible. The offensive line for Ohio State was so much better. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, especially in the second half, was getting hit all night. He had no time to do anything. And you look at it, and you look at the rushing yards this game. I mean, if you look at it, Sermon for Ohio State had 193 yards and a touchdown. He was their leading rusher. Clemson's leading rusher was Travis Etienne with just 32 yards rushing and 1 touchdown. So, I mean, it looked like every time Ohio State, especially in the second half when they handed it off, they were getting like 8 yards a pop. And really, Clemson couldn't do anything offensively. And on the defensive side of the ball, Ohio State was doing anything they wanted with Clemson's defense. It just showed that, look, Ryan Day and just the whole entire Ohio State football team was much more focused. They wanted this game more, and they just flat out outplayed Clemson. This game is clearly on Dabo Swinney to me. But really, this game, it doesn't show that, look, Trevor Lawrence is worse than we might have thought. I didn't think Trevor Lawrence really played that bad. It's just, we just saw how incredible Justin Fields was. But when you look at Justin Fields, he needed this game so bad. Justin Fields needed this game to prove that, look, I can beat anybody I want to beat. I am not just bad against ranked opponents. Because when you look prior, when you looked at when Justin Fields played against 9th-ranked Indiana earlier this season and 14th-ranked Northwestern, he was not very good. If you look at his numbers, 30 against those two teams combined, 30 for 57. That's 53% completion percentage. He threw for 414 yards and 2 touchdowns versus 5 interceptions. So it was a real concern, especially with the whole recency bias thing, because they just played 2 weeks ago, played against Northwestern. And we saw really Ohio State had to get the ball out of really Justin Fields' hands and just give it to the running back and let the running back kind of carry it, because that's how, unfortunately, how bad really Justin Fields was that game. But you look at this, and Justin Fields had an incredible day. He obviously proved that, look, I am an NFL quarterback. You should not be concerned about me. And I think really looking at this game from a Jets fan's point of view, they should be extremely, extremely excited that they had the chance to really get this guy. And I remember 2 weeks ago, a lot of Jaguar fans were freaking out after the Northwestern game saying, look, is this really what Justin Fields is? He looks horrible. And now 2 weeks later, we have Jaguar fans saying, Trevor Lawrence, overrated. Justin Fields, did you see him? Let's calm down. Let's calm down. Obviously, Justin Fields is great, but Trevor Lawrence is the guy. He's the number 1 pick. Let's not overthink ourselves. He's the generational talent. I am a little bit afraid of Justin Fields' floor because we've seen his floor. He's been very ineffective at times. It seems like every game Trevor Lawrence plays in, Trevor Lawrence at least gives them a chance. And especially you saw Trevor Lawrence in the first half when they weren't playing from way behind. Trevor Lawrence was making some very good throws. There's still obviously some stuff he's got to work on. I don't like a lot of the throws off of the back foot that he was making. That kind of concerned me a little bit. But overall, we can nitpick all of it. But Jaguars had the first overall pick. Trevor Lawrence is our guy, and whoever gets if the New York Jets decide to move on from Sam Darnold, which they obviously should, in my opinion. I don't think Sam Darnold's any good. I think Trevor Lawrence will be a great quarterback for them and their organization going forward. So thanks, guys, for watching this video. I hope you guys all really enjoyed watching this game, and I hope you guys all enjoyed your Christmas, New Year's, all that kind of stuff. We're in 2021 now. Jaguars' last game is tomorrow, and then we got an awesome offseason. So thanks, everybody. You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at UCF_Jaguar, I should say. And shout out to all the members of the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop a like for me if you can. Subscribe to the channel. Go Jags.